I've often wondered if someone like you really exists, a soul that feels like home even before we've met. And yet here I am, writing to you, my future wife, knowing that somewhere out there you are reading these words meant only for you. This isn't just a letter, it's a piece of my heart, a quiet promise, and a hope that one day, when our paths finally cross, you'll know that every thought, every dream, and every unspoken word has been waiting for you. Every night, when the world quiets down and the stars seem to whisper secrets just for me, I find myself thinking of you. I don't know your name yet, the color of your eyes, or the sound of your laughter, but I feel you as if I've known you all my life. There's a part of me that waits, patiently and quietly, believing that somewhere in this vast, unpredictable world, there's a soul made for mine. I imagine our first meeting, not with grand gestures, not with chaos, but in a simple, profound moment where our eyes meet and the noise of the world fades, leaving only a feeling that we were always meant to find each other. I write this letter as if sending my heart ahead, a bridge to the person I have not yet touched but already cherish. Sometimes I wonder how it will feel to call you mine, to speak your name, to share the smallest details of life, like the way the morning sun falls across your face or the sound of your favorite song when it plays unexpectedly. I think about all the quiet mornings we'll share, sipping coffee in silence yet feeling a connection so deep that words will feel unnecessary. There will be moments when the world seems too heavy, too fast, too complicated, but knowing you exist, somewhere beyond my reach yet still a part of my destiny, will make everything lighter, everything bearable. I have dreams for us, not the kind that are filled with grandeur or impossibility, but the kind that are simple, meaningful, and unshakable. Building a life where love is patient, where understanding is constant, where laughter is abundant, and even in the inevitable struggles, our hearts remain tethered, steady, unbroken. I imagine holding your hand for the first time, not out of ceremony, but out of a quiet recognition that every path I've walked, every decision I've made, every heartbreak and every joy, has led me to this exact point, ready to meet you. I feel compelled to tell you that in the silence of my thoughts, in the solitude of my nights, I have been preparing for you, learning how to love, learning how to listen, learning how to be present in ways I never knew I could. And though the world may be unpredictable, and life often unfair, the certainty I hold is this: somewhere you are waiting too. And when our paths finally cross, there will be no doubt, no hesitation, only the quiet, profound recognition that we belong to each other. I want to write to you every day, even before our first hello, because my heart knows that words have a way of reaching across time and space, of bridging what the eyes cannot yet see. I think about the life we will create together, not as a series of perfect moments, but as a tapestry of imperfect, beautiful experiences, stitched together by love, trust, and unwavering devotion. I imagine the conversations we'll have, the small jokes, the shared glances, the unspoken understanding that sometimes the most powerful connections need no words at all. I imagine walking through the seasons together, feeling the rain, the sun, the wind, and knowing that every moment is sweeter because it is shared with you. I imagine the comfort of your presence on days when everything else seems uncertain, the warmth of your hand in mine when words fail, and the feeling of safety that comes from knowing that love, real and enduring, exists in us. Even though I do not know you fully yet, I know the contours of your soul will fit perfectly against mine, that your laughter will echo in the quiet corners of my mind, that your tears will be held tenderly by my heart, and that together we will navigate the unpredictable currents of life with a steady, unshakable bond. I want you to know that everything I am, everything I hope to be, has been shaped in part by the thought of you. Every choice I make, every act of courage, every quiet moment of reflection carries a silent message to you that I am ready, that I am waiting, that my heart is yours even before we meet. And though I cannot say, the road ahead, I trust that it will lead me to you, because the pull of fate is patient, deliberate, and beautiful, and I have learned to listen to it. I believe in the power of love that arrives quietly, without fanfare, without demand, without expectation, but with absolute certainty. And that is the love I am writing to you about. I want to share everything with you, the joys and the fears, the mundane and the extraordinary, knowing that even the simplest moments will be extraordinary because they will be ours. I write this letter with hope, with longing, with an honesty that is raw and unwavering, Because love is not about perfection, it is about truth, vulnerability, and presence, and I promise to offer you all of that in abundance. I imagine the quiet nights we will spend together, talking or simply existing side by side, and I know that even in silence our souls will converse, in a language older than words, a language built from trust, patience, and devotion. I think about the challenges we will face, the obstacles and uncertainties, and I feel ready because I know that love, when genuine, provides a strength beyond measure, a courage beyond understanding, and a peace that surpasses the chaos of life. I hope you can feel this letter as if it is reaching across the distance that separates us, a gentle, persistent signal of the heart, telling you that you are not alone, that you are anticipated, that you are cherished already, even in the quiet anticipation of our meet. Eating. I imagine the day our eyes meet, the moment when recognition dawns, and we realize that the journey, long and winding though it may have been, has led us precisely here, to each other. And in that instant, the world will make sense in a way it never has before. I want you to know that I am ready for every moment, every emotion, every adventure that awaits us, because love is the greatest journey of all, and I cannot wait to take it with you. I hope that when you read these words, even if just a whisper in the universe, you feel my heart, my intention, and my unwavering devotion, knowing that everything I have, everything I am, and everything I hope to be is for you. There's a quiet part of me that exists only because of you, a space in my heart carved out for a soul I have not yet met, a presence I feel even in absence, a resonance that hums in the stillness of my thoughts. I imagine you waking up one morning, perhaps unaware that somewhere someone has been thinking of you, writing to you, preparing a lifetime of love before even knowing your face, your voice, your laughter. And yet, in this unseen connection, there is a certainty, a knowing that what is meant to be will find its way. I think about the countless moments that will define our life together, not the ones the world sees, not the grand gestures or dramatic declarations, but the quiet, everyday intimacies that create a foundation stronger than stone. Sharing a glance that communicates more than words ever, she, ud. Walking side by side through ordinary streets and discovering extraordinary comfort in simply being together. Feeling the gravity of the universe shift gently when you are near, because even the cosmos seems to acknowledge the pull between two hearts aligned by fate. I imagine the way our lives will intertwine, how our individual experiences, our fears, our dreams, and our histories will merge into a single story, a story that we write together with patience, understanding, and unwavering devotion. I think about the moments when life will challenge us, when storms will rage, when uncertainty and fear threaten to shake our foundations, and yet, even in the midst of turbulence, there will be a steadiness, a quiet anchor, found in the knowledge that we are not facing the world alone, that love, true love, provides a refuge, a strength that endures, and a light that never fades. I write to you now as if sending a bridge across the distance between us, a bridge built of hope, trust, and longing, a bridge that will carry us into the days, months, and years when we will finally find each other and recognize that every path, every choice, every heartbreak, and every joy was a preparation for this union. I think about the sound of your voice, though I have never heard it, and imagine the warmth it will bring, the reassurance, the comfort, the gentle cadence that will become a melody in my life, a rhythm that guides my heart, my mind, and my soul. I imagine the laughter we will are not the forced laughter of polite society, but the kind that bubbles from the depths of our being, that lingers long after the moment passes, leaving echoes in our hearts that will sustain us even on the hardest of days. I imagine holding your hand in moments of uncertainty, feeling your presence as a tangible reassurance that we are stronger together, that whatever the world throws at us, we will face it side by side, tethered by love that is patient, enduring, and infinitely generous. I think about the way your eyes will meet mine, the first time and every time thereafter, and the silent understanding that will pass between us, a wordless recognition that we are home to each other, that the search, the longing, and the waiting have all been worth it, because this connection is real, enduring, and extraordinary. I imagine the quiet nights we will share, sitting together in silence, perhaps not needing to speak, yet feeling completely known, completely understood, completely loved, as if the world outside has disappeared, and nothing exists except the two of us and the rhythm of our hearts. I think about the joy of celebrating life's small moments together, the victories, the milestones, the unexpected delights, and the ways in which our shared happiness will amplify, multiply, and deepen, turning even ordinary days into memories that will shine for a lifetime. I imagine the challenges we will overcome, not because life will be easy, but because we will be strong and our love will be stronger, providing a foundation that is unshakable, a refuge that is unwavering, and a hope that is constant, even when the world is anything but. I write to you with an open heart, a patient soul, and a love that is unwavering, because I know that when we finally meet, the waiting, the longing, and the hope will all converge into a single breathtaking moment of recognition, the moment when two souls find each other, understand each other, and commit to walking the unpredictable path of life together. I think about the future we will create, not a perfect future, not a life without struggles, but a life filled with honesty, compassion, laughter, patience, and a love that is deliberate, tender, and endlessly generous. I imagine the days when we will support each other through sorrow, celebrate each other through triumphs, and find meaning in the mundane because it is shared and cherished together. I imagine our home as a sanctuary, a place where love is spoken, where hearts are open, and where every action is infused with care, respect, and devotion. I think about how you will shape me, how your presence will teach me, challenge me, and expand the limits of my heart, how our connection will be a source of growth, understanding, and inspiration, a reflection of the best of who we are individually and together. I imagine the words I will say, the letters I will write, the small gestures and acts of love that will weave the fabric of our shared life, creating a tapestry of moments, emotions, and memories that are uniquely ours. I imagine the trust that will develop, the security that will grow, the understanding that will deepen, knowing that our bond is not fleeting, not superficial, but enduring, rooted in respect, honesty, patience, and an unwavering commitment to each other. I think about the beauty of loving someone before they are fully known, of imagining a future with someone who exists more as a feeling than a tangible presence, and of discovering, when the moment finally comes, that the feeling was real, that the anticipation was justified, and that the love has always been there, waiting patiently for the right time, the right place, and the right heart to meet it halfway. I write this as a promise, a whisper to the universe, a quiet declaration of love that transcends time and distance, knowing that somehow, in ways I cannot yet see, these words will reach you, and when they do, they will carry a piece of my soul, a piece of my heart, and the certainty that everything I have ever been and everything I hope to be is already yours. I imagine a life with you, a life built slowly, deliberately, with attention to the small details that make love enduring and real. I think about the mornings when sunlight will fall gently across your face, when the warmth of your presence will be a quiet comfort before words are even spoken. I imagine the first coffee of the day shared in silence, the way our routines will become intertwined. ND. The ordinary moments will carry extraordinary meaning simply because we are together. I think about the conversations we will have, long talks that stretch into the night, filled with laughter, honesty, and the kind of vulnerability that comes only when hearts are fully known and trusted. I imagine listening to you speak, watching the expressions that play across your face, feeling the rhythm of your thoughts, and understanding you in ways that go deeper than language. I think about the challenges life will inevitably bring, the moments of doubt, fear, or exhaustion, and how we will face them together, supporting each other, holding each other, reminding each other that love is not the absence of hardship, but the strength to navigate it together. I imagine the way we will celebrate victories, both great and small, the quiet satisfaction of sharing accomplishments with someone who truly understands, someone who rejoices in your happiness as if it were their own, someone whose heart beats in tandem with yours in moments of triumph. I imagine the journey of growing together, learning from each other, sometimes challenging each other, always encouraging each other, shaping a life where mutual respect, patience, and understanding form the foundation of everything we do. I think about the laughter, not just the big, boisterous laughter that comes from jokes or surprises, but the quiet, shared laughter of knowing glances, small absurdities, and private moments that belong only to us. moments that will sustain us through days when the world feels overwhelming. I imagine the touch of your hand, the comfort in a hug, the reassurance in a simple gesture that says, "Without words, I am here, I am with you, we are together." I imagine the way your presence will make ordinary moments extraordinary, how simply being near you will bring a sense of peace, security, and belonging that nothing else in the world can provide. I think about the nights we will spend lying awake, speaking of dreams, fears, hopes, and memories, discovering the layers of each other's hearts, and building a connection that is both tender and resilient, capable of weathering any storm. I imagine the quiet confidence that will grow between us, the unspoken understanding that comes from shared experiences, from love that is patient, forgiving, and enduring, from a commitment to be present for each other in ways that are both simple and profound. I imagine the adventures we will take, the journeys near and far, the new experiences that will become treasured memories, the stories we will tell, and the laughter and wonder that will accompany every step we take together. I imagine the life we will build, a life that may not be perfect, but one that is filled with love, honesty, joy, and unwavering devotion. A life where even the mundane is transformed into something meaningful because it is shared with someone who completes you in ways words cannot capture. I imagine the moments of quiet intimacy, sigh, the shared glances, the unspoken conversations, the comfort in knowing that no matter what happens, we have each other, and that knowledge will be a constant source of strength and reassurance. I imagine the growth we will experience together, the ways in which we will challenge and inspire each other, the mutual encouragement to become better versions of ourselves, and the understanding that love is not stagnant, but a living, evolving force that shapes and strengthens us both. I imagine the small rituals that will become ours, the traditions we will create, the patterns of love and care that will define our life together, and the joy that comes from knowing that these moments, seemingly ordinary, are in fact extraordinary because they are ours alone. I think about the way our love will be a refuge from the chaos of the world, a sanctuary where hearts are safe, where vulnerability is honored, and where every action, every word, and every gesture is infused with care and intention. I imagine the future conversations, the shared dreams, the plans, the hopes, and even the occasional disagreements, navigated with patience, respect, and a deep understanding that love is not just feeling, but a choice, a commitment, and a practice that we honor every day. I imagine the way our hearts will communicate without words, the understanding that grows from shared experience, trust, and unwavering presence, the silent reassurance that comes from being truly seen and truly known. I imagine in walking through life together, hand in hand, heart with heart, supporting, loving, and cherishing each other through every season, knowing that no matter what comes, the bond we share will be our anchor, our light, and our home. I imagine a love so profound that even in the hardest moments, we find joy. Even in uncertainty, we find courage, and even in silence, we find connection. I imagine the life we will create, a life where laughter, patience, honesty, and devotion are not just ideals but lived experiences, where every day is infused with the quiet magic of being with the person who was always meant to be your other half. I imagine the quiet moments before sleep, when the world is still, when our hearts speak more than words ever could, when the simple act of existing together is the most profound declaration of love, and I imagine that these moments will never lose their power, their tenderness, or their beauty. I write this with the knowledge that love is patient, love is enduring, and love is deliberate, a force that shapes, nurtures, and sustains. And I know that when I finally meet you, all the waiting, all the longing, and all the preparation will make sense, because in that moment we will know, without doubt, that we are home to each other, and that everything I have written, everything I have hoped, and everything I have dreamed has been leading to this exact point, this exact heart, this exact love that is ours to share forever.